When I was growing up back in Jamaica, my granddad Neville said to me, he said, "Son," I said, "I'm not your son," but anyway, he said, "Son, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together." I was like, "Well, Neville, you know what? That makes sense, Neville." And that was that.
But do you know what's interesting?
Go on.
That you're not Jamaican. And so there probably was no Neville and there was no saying. So you probably heard that saying somewhere else and just created that whole story around it. Why would you do that? Why are you such a liar? Do you know what the audience would say if they knew that you were lying to them like that?
What would they say?
They'd say, "Thank God we're not live."
No. I will never lie live. Okay.
You can't lie live.
Exactly. Never. Much. No, we're actually live now. Shit. Let's go.
What up, guys? I am Sa Ra Garvey, and that was a story about Uncle Neville, and apparently, him saying, "What? If you want to go fast, go where?
Alone.
Alone. And if you want to go slow, go where?
If you want to go far, go together."
So unity is the way forward.
Unity. One and can't clap.
This guy's such a fake Jamaican. It's just unbelievable. But guys, thank you very much for joining us today, for joining me today. I'm going to let you guys know, right? We have a few things that we're going to be covering today. And you guys need to get your popcorn. You need to get your drinks, get your smokes, get your food, get whatever it is that you got to get, because today's episode is going to get a little bit deep. But before we do get deep, we're going to get light to get everyone in here and, talk about some stuff before we get deep. So yeah, all I'm going to say, because I'm thinking about it, if you guys are sensitive, just don't tune in today. Okay. If you guys are sensitive minded and you're not able to see things differently or take on other people's views, please do not tune in, because what I've had enough of, if I'm totally honest, is everyone crying and screaming about them being victims about something because someone said something that they didn't like about something that they hold dear. I'm kind of sick of it. Okay. So if you're not able to take on, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to take nation. Just hear it. Do you know what I mean? You can rubbish it. But I ain't got time for people talking about, oh, that's offensive and I got offended. I don't give a fuck. Just going to let you know, guys. So if I offend you, I will say sorry, not sorry, and I don't give a fuck. Jesse, how was your week, brother?
Good week.
Good week?
Today,
busy?
Today is the second day of the year.
It's the 2nd of April.
Exactly. The year starts on April the 1st. There were actually 13 months, not 12 months. Okay.
Are you on your conspiracy stuff
It's
again?
not fucking conspiracy, bro.
Go on. How are there 13 months now? Go on.
So there were 13 moon cycles in a year. Months are named after moons. Month, moon. Okay. So each month, or month lasts exactly 28 days. A moon cycle is 20 days. These are just the facts. Okay. 28 times 13 gives us 364. At the end of every single year, there's the end of the year, which is just a day, no name, okay? And that's our year, 13 times 28. April is the first month. May is the second month. June is the third. July is the fourth. August is the fifth. The 6th month has been taken away. September.
Stuck for a lot.
September. Septagon, 7.
Yes, because sept is 7.
October,
Oct is 8.
Yep. November, 9.
9. December, DS, yes, is 10.
Decimate,
yes.
10. January is the 11th. February is the 12th. March is the 13th month. April 1st is the new year. April Fool's Day.
So where's the other month gone, brother?
They've just got rid of it. And what they've done is add random days to other months. So some months have 31 days, some have 30. Just to make
so they've added it on during the year.
Exactly. But if you were to count...
So are you telling me that if every day is 28, every month is 28, are you telling me that all the extra days, so that we have...
There are 2 extra days.
Yeah, so like you have 29th, 30th, and some do have 31. Exactly. If we added up all of those, there would be another 28.
Exactly. Oh, that should be...
Bomba
that should be 29. because at the end of the year you have
The leap year.
no, not leap year. So you have like the end of year day. So you just celebrate like this is the end of the year. They had no name. It wasn't Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It was just the end of the year. And then the next day you have your first of the year. And then every 4 years you have 2 of those because you get a leap year.
You're not as dumb as you look, are you?
I'm nowhere near as dumb as I look. I'm not as homeless as I look either. Because sometimes
No, you look homeless.
I know, but that's
He looks homeless today, folks.
I know, but I'm not as homeless or as dumb as I look.
Okay, well then you schooled me, bro.
Happy New Year, 2nd of
Happy New Year, brother.
Thank you, brother.
And happy April Fools. It's my birthday. It's my birthday this month.
Yes, you might be right.
Yeah, it's my birthday this month,
Lovely.
which would make me an Aries.
Mm.
If anyone is actually into any of that, it would make me Aries. Which
God of War.
The God of War.
The God of War in Greek mythology.
Yeah, well, some people say I do go to war. I think I'll be going to war a little bit today.
Black women.
Yeah, I'll be going to war a little bit today. But before we get to that, Jesse, right? We have a lady, yeah? We both, you and I.
Okay.
We both have a lady. Mm-hmm. She's called the Even If Lady.
Oh, yes.
Right? She has become our meme, okay? She has given us a legendary saying. And what is that legendary saying, Jesse?
Even if
That is our lady. That is our meme. However, before, right, we found her, Jesse. So we have to say, yeah, we have to take credit for what has gone on during this last week. Have you not seen what she's done during this last week?
No.
Right. So during this last week, she has done an interview.
Wait, is that her in that video?
Yes.
Oh, sugar.
Yes. She has done an interview with a young lady from Bristol who has become slightly famous for doing something really sexually explicit. So for the audience, let's just see this video, right?
Which video is it?
And this is the last one there. Let's see this video and then you guys can tell me what you think about this.
And I did not cheat you. You just nyam my batty and went home. Don't try to tell your guys I cheated you, you know. Your own guys don't rate you, sis. You're work class. Go get a job. Go get a job, sis. Your own guys don't rate you. They're here telling me, oh, he's saying he cheated you. Are you fucking mad? Are you fucking mad? I made you nyam my batty and go home. You didn't even get to nyam the cooch. I made you nyam my asshole. It don't even feel good. Shitty mouth. See, you just chat shit. That's why.
So that clip went viral over here in the UK. This woman is on TikTok bragging about how a guy gave her anal lingus and she became famous for it. But you see in these days and times, Jesse, right, where they just make dumb people famous, okay? Please, people, stop making dumb people famous. But it's too late. It's too late. Dumb people are famous for the wrong reasons. What our lady, Miss Even If Lady, decided to do, she has a show on Trend Central called Off the Record. And they bring people on to interview them. So apparently, this young lady, let's say she's 18 years of age, bragging about this guy eating her anus, is news that everybody wants to hear. So her name is Midday, I believe, Jesse. We need to stop calling her Even If Lady and at least no, Even If Lady? Okay, Even If Lady. Even If Lady brings her onto the show and gives her an interview. And that interview goes really left. Like, it goes really left. Can we see some of how that interview went, please, Jesse? It's the third video.
What? This one here?
Yeah.
Is that her?
Go on.
She's bigger than I thought.
Well, that's who she is.
Take the passion of music away from me. So I feel like now that I have this platform, it would be kind of stupid not to at least try and pursue that again. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all I have to say about that at the moment, because there's not much to say. I haven't done much. I haven't released anything.
Fair enough. So you're a nice person.
I actually am a nice person.
Oh.
I'm just.
I mean, this conversation would beg to differ, but
But it's because you're not a nice person.
I'm an amazing person.
Not to me.
What did I say to you that wasn't nice?
You're just quite judgmental.
I didn't say anything judgmental. I
You have
asked you a question.
underlying hatred.
What am I hating on?
The fact that I still have youth.
Tamela, it was lovely.
You're wearing Clarks.
These are not Clarks, darling. Check
What
your
are
facts.
they? What are they?
What are you wearing? Can we go through? Let's do a fit check with you.
Okay, pretty little thing. Pretty little thing. I think it's a Shein.
That says it all.
That says it all. What? Do you want to buy me a new outfit?
No, I don't, darling.
What are 18-year-olds supposed to wear? You don't know about Shein. And your buckle's undone on your shoes.
Tamela, it was lovely. Well, it was interesting having you here on Off the Record. I wish you all the best in your career. Hopefully it works out the same way it did for Cardi B. If not, take care. Guys, it has been me, Midday Oni, the one and only, and this has been Off the
Don't
Record.
sign off as if it's your show because you needed me here. It's been Tamelo from Bristol. Tamelo from Bristol. Let me look at all cameras. Thank you. Off the Record. You can cut, by the way. She has nothing further to say.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us. You're not about to edit this out. It's been the Tamelo show. Had I not been here, you would have had fuck all to speak about. So thank you. You can cut here because I'm just going to keep interrupting you. You might as well do this in your own time.
Oh, Jesus is good. And I thank God for growth. I don't know what to say here because do I give it back? I don't know what's going on here, guys.
Keep your career, sis.
Yeah.
At least you have one.
Yeah, at least I have one. Thank you. That is very
At 31,
true.
I'd expect that.
Yeah. Hopefully, and by the time you're 31, you would have grown out of part-time prostitution as well.
No, your
No.
mom's still one.
She's definitely not. She's definitely not. Let's not do that, darling. Okay? Guys, thank you for watching Off the Record. It's been Midday Oni, the one and only, your host. And I shall see you on the next episode.
See you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesse.
I never expected it.
No, we need a meme for that.
Well, I don't know what to.
We need even if for that. We do.
Even if.
Ladies and gentlemen, that 18-year-old girl proceeded to give. Now, let me say this. If you guys, I don't want to give the interview, but if you guys want to watch it, it's called Off the Record. What actually happened was the interviewer, our Even If lady, kind of went at her from the jump. Now, let's be very understanding here. The girl's famous because she was talking about a guy eating a bum bum. Okay, so that's not anything to be famous for. So the host, our Even If lady, proceeded to kind of ask her if she's got shame and all this kind of stuff. And the 18-year-old girl felt attacked. So what do people do when they feel backed into a corner? They attack back. And that was just some of it. She actually made her, Jesse, she made her leave the interview. The Even If lady had to get up and leave.
When was this?
During the interview. She had to get up and leave her, and the girl was laughing at her. And it was really bad, bro. Like, it was really bad. And what it one said to me was, there were some comments actually that I sent to you that were there were some comments that were said on this type of stuff in the interview.
Which one? Because I can't see which.
Just read any of them.
Sorry, right now I'm flustered, guys. Sorry.
This Agbaya finally met her match. The host is the same person that said she would date her friend's
X.
X.
So wants to preach about shame to someone who's 13 years younger.
Wrap it up.
Next comment.
Yeah.
Is this generation is getting worse. Wow. People are dying for clout nowadays. People have no integrity and self-respect for themselves.
And read another one.
I want LOOOL. Interviewer thought she was ZZ Mills. And the last comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we talk about how the interviewer doesn't even know how to pose questions?
You see, here's the thing, Jesse, right? On a personal note, I've been interviewing people for years. I've interviewed the likes of... no. I've interviewed the likes of Tommy Robinson, Lee Jasper, politician Lee Jasper, Sargon of Akkad, Armin Navabi, so many different people that I've interviewed. And just to sit down and talk to somebody isn't an interview. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. And it's a skill. There's research to be done. There's some level of professionalism, that needs to be adhered to. But it doesn't seem like our Even If lady actually got there when it comes to interviewing techniques. And if you watch the interview, she is kind of floundering. She is kind of relying on the fact that she can be quite bitchy and she can be quite catty, and it's like, well, this is no longer an interview. This is like an argument on screen between two people who really don't like each other. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, I've interviewed people who I don't necessarily like, but I understand there's a level of professionalism, and I just think that one of the comments says, yeah, she thought she was ZZ Mills, and to some degree you can see what that comment was saying, because she thought that she could go and interview. Now, big up ZZ Mills, and in her field, she knows what she's doing. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with everyone that she interviews, but ZZ Mills knows how to interview people. But Even If lady doesn't. She doesn't know how to interview people. And that kind of showed in the interview. So it was like, yeah, it was literally a shit show. It was it was car crash TV. I won't ever lie to you. And it was one of those things that you wanted to take your eyes away from, but you're like, I've got to keep watching this. It's crazy. And it got to the point where she said her mum was a prostitute, and it was just crazy. It was mad. And now what has happened is, it goes on the blog sites, the Shade Borough, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's reposting it. And now that girl's become more famous. And it's like, I don't think people should be being famous and going viral for the most disgusting, inhumane stuff, but that's just the times we're living in, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a shame, and it's like, it kind of speaks to me the psychology of the world in which we're living in, the fact that this stuff is the stuff that people want to see. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still trying to process everything that I just witnessed, so bear with me.
She apparently said she wants to do rap. She wants to do music. I'm just like, is it good? I don't know.
Is it any of it good?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
No, in general.
That coming from her type of mouth?
Bend that ass over. Let that
coochie breathe. Yeah,
I'm sure she can at least match that.
Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees. Yeah. So it's going to be that type of music, I'm guessing, because she referenced Cardi B. And it's just like, do we need any more of that type of music in this time, in this space, at this moment in time? I don't think we do.
No. Also, for our viewers that might not be aware, can you just let them know who ZZ Mills is?
Oh, ZZ Mills is probably the go-to Black UK female interviewer in this space. I am fortunate enough to call her an associate, because I've been on her show a couple of times, and interact with her a couple of times. We agree on some things, disagree on some things, but I just think that who she is, I think ZZ does a good job, and she was recently within the Celebrity Big Brother house of recent, and she represented herself quite well in the house. Bit better than Nella Rose did when she went into the jungle. Do you know what I mean, Jesse? No shade. Yeah, ZZ Mills is kind of like the go-to. Is that our ZZ Mills?
That's our ZZ Mills. I don't think she's a good interviewer.
Oh, okay. Tell me why.
Like, she gives me the same energy as Even If lady.
Really?
Very much so.
That unprofessional?
I just think people like
she's still up
more. Yeah, I know. Let people see her.
Okay.
She's not a bad-looking woman.
No, she's not a bad-looking woman at all.
But yeah, no, I don't think she's great personally. As an interviewer, as a person, I think she's calm. But
you don't think she's a good interviewer?
Not from what I like. But what do I know?
No. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. But yeah, that was basically the car crash this week. And apparently everyone's going to hit their 15 minutes of fame. I guess that ladies is that time for, you know, the lady who wants to talk about guys eating her bum bum. And next week, I guess we'll be on to something else.
She's bigger than I thought she was from that first video.
What do you mean, as in size-wise?
Yeah.
She's got a bit of chunkiness to her.
Timber, we call it.
Timber?
Timber, a bit of timber.
She's got a bit of timber to
It's
her.
fine. Which is fine.
But the thing is, like she's, if you think about it, she's 18. The sad thing for me, right, if I'm totally honest, she's 18, okay? She's 18 years old and she's talking like this. Like, she's talking about guys eating her asshole and she's 18. She's like, you've just started your adulthood journey. Like, don't F it up. But it's just like, listening to this generation speak at this age, it's like, bro, at 18, I was just at college. You know, I didn't really, you would, bro, I was happy at 18, I was happy if I fingered a girl. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I fingered, I was happy, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, bro, smell my finger, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was happy, brother, like, at 18. Now, you know, 18-year-olds talking about guys eating their bum bum. I know I sound like an old man right now. I know I sound like an old man. But it's just like, bro, how things have changed, bro. How things have changed. Do we have any comments, Jesse?
We have comments.
What are they saying?
The comments are saying, what people do behind closed doors should stay. Sorry, what people do behind doors should stay behind doors.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works in these days and times.
Exactly. What else do we have? A lot of other stuff, but we won't read it. Good stuff though.
All right. Guys and girls, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer, okay? We're about to go down a rabbit hole, okay? And this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not for the sensitive. So if you are sensitive and you don't like different types of views that go against your own, then this next section of this live is not for you. Okay? And I just want to say that. So as we get into it, I ain't got time for everybody's feelings. Okay? I ain't got time for everybody's feelings. What everybody thinks and, oh my God, he's disrespectful to this and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Okay? So once you know I don't care, just know that. Secondly, I want to say that this next segment has been inspired by my clan. By a man in particular by the name of Marcus Lovelace, who's part of my clan. For people that know and for people that don't, I used to debate religion. I used to debate religion at a place called Speaker's Corner in London. And I'd done that for like 5 years. And what I found at the time that I was there was that talking to religious people can be an exercise in futility. Now, when I spoke to the religious people down there, it's not like I was trying to give them something else. I wasn't trying to take them out of their religion and give them some kind of Satanism or whatever, which I was accused of a few times while I was down there. But one of my clan members pulled me aside one day. Marcus Lovelace pulled me aside and he was like, bro, I've got to say this to you. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, you've been going down there for a while, right? And he's like, and I was like, yeah, I've been going down there for a while, I've been, jousting with the religious folks. And he was like, Cerberus is going to do what Cerberus does. And I looked at him and I was like, Cerberus? And he was like, let me talk to you about Cerberus. And we proceeded to have a few conversations about Cerberus. And everything that he said to me made sense. And so the next segment is going to be talking about Cerberus and its relationship to Abrahamic religion and what it actually is in my personal point of view. So let's get into it. So, Jesse, can we bring up the definition of who Cerberus is, please?
Bear with me. I can't see what's what. Which one would that be? Sorry. Today's not a good day for me.
It would say.
But I'll find it. Sorry. Yep, there we go.
There we go.
Cool. Cerberus.
It says,
In Greek mythology, Cerberus, often referred to as the Hound of Hades, is a multi-headed dog that guards the gates of the underworld to prevent the dead from leaving. He was offspring of monsters Echinda and Typhon, and was usually described as having 3 heads, a serpent for a tail, and snakes sprouting from his body. Cerberus is primarily known for his capture by Hercules, the last of Hercules' 12 labors.
yes. So, Cerberus is Abrahamic religion. There's a picture of Cerberus there. There we are. We have Christianity, we have Islam, and we have Judaism. And the reason why these religions are Cerberus is because they are Abrahamic. You can take that down and I'll explain. So Cerberus being a 3-headed dog. There are Islam, there are Christianity, and there are Judaism. The body of Cerberus is Abrahamic religion. And within Abrahamic religion, all 3 of those heads think that they are top dog. And so if you know the story of Cerberus, what you find is that Cerberus would guard the gates of hell. And if anybody tried to leave or even come in, Cerberus would attack them. Cerberus would rip them to shreds and try and kill them. And that is what I realized when I was debating these religions down at Speaker's Corner. If I tried to critique them, they would actually form together to attack me. And I was like, isn't that interesting? And then what you understand about Cerberus in the Greek mythology is that if you leave Cerberus alone, Cerberus will actually attack itself because it believes, all 3 heads believe that they are top dog. All 3 heads believe that they are the one that should be the one. And so what happens is they will go, no, and they nip at each other because they all thought, even though they had the same body, that they were the top dog. And so when you get to the Abrahamic religions, what I found is that you leave them all alone and they all kill themselves. They all attack themselves. If you look at what's going on in Palestine right now and Gaza and Israel right now, this is just Cerberus doing what Cerberus does. For years and years and years, Muslims versus Christians, Christians versus Muslim, Jews versus Muslim, Muslim versus Jew has been a war that has been fought for 1,400 years. This is Cerberus. That's all Cerberus knows. Cerberus only knows to attack itself because even within those religions, what you find, go to Islam, you have the Sunni and the Shia. They want to attack each other. They want to kill each other. Then you have the Christian and Muslim. You go to Nigeria. They want to attack each other. Then you go to the Muslim and the Christian. Sorry, the Muslim and the Jew. They want to attack each other. This is Cerberus. It's just what Cerberus does. Cerberus doesn't know how to act in any other way because Cerberus is actually forged by ego and arrogance. And it's Cerberus's ego and its arrogance which doesn't allow it to see that it's actually one of the same. That's why they all attack each other, because they are one in the same. They have the same mind, they have the same arrogance, they have the same ego, because they all want to be top dog. And that's what we see now when we get to what's happening with Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a Christian. And in these days and times, she's now been called what? Anti-Semitic. Right? And so she said Jesus is king. And then someone else said, no, that's anti-Semitic. And so now what's Cerberus doing? Cerberus is attacking itself again. You have the Christians versus the Jews, and the Jews are saying that the Christians are being anti-Semitic, and the Christians are saying, no, we're not being anti-Semitic. And so after that, we have the Muslims. saying to the Jews, "Oh no, you're attacking us." The Jews saying, "Oh no, you're attacking us." It's all Cerberus. So what Cerberus does? Cerberus doesn't know how to be peaceful. Cerberus's core DNA, its core DNA is to be chaotic. Its core DNA, and this is what I've noticed. This is something that has been it's been weighing on me, because I've been like, how am I going to speak about this? Because isn't it interesting that all three of these religions, all three of the heads of Cerberus, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, they all claim to be different from each other. All of them claim to be different. All of them saying, "No, I'm the top dog." But they all have one thing in common as well as being part of the same body. Do you know what they have in common, Jesse?
Monotheistic?
They have the same devil.
Hmm.
All of them have the same devil. Judaism have the devil. Islam have the shaitan, which is the same devil, Lucifer. And also so does Christianity. And I just find it interesting that all of them claim to be different, but they've all got the same devil. And then you go to the scriptures and they say, who is the author of confusion?
Devil?
The devil.
Jewish people, as far as I'm aware, do not have a concept of the afterlife. I might be wrong.
They don't have the concept of afterlife. However, within the scripture, it talks about Hades. It actually says Hades. Yeah, it talks about Hades in the scripture. It's very interesting. And
quickly, before you continue,
yeah.
You said that Candace Owens was labeled an anti-Semite.
That's correct.
The description of a Semite is a member of any of the peoples who speak or spoke a Semitic language, including in particular the Jews and Arabs. So the name comes from Latin, from Greek, Sem, Shem, son of Noah in the Bible, from whom these people are traditionally supposed to be descended. So to be anti-Semitic, by definition, is to be against Jews
and Arabs.
Not Muslims. Arabs, because Arabs are always not a religion.
Yeah. But it's kind of been coined. It's kind of been like taken, hasn't it, by Jewish people to say that you're against us, because I guess Arabs have the quote unquote Islamophobic trope. They have that, saying. So yeah, Cerberus is going to be Cerberus. I'm just gonna be honest with people, whether this offends you or not. I have sat back and I have watched the Abrahamic religions attack each other for 1400 years. As a matter of fact, you don't believe me? Jesse, there's a slide there from Sunnah.com. From Sunnah.com. And if we read, could you read that, please?
Okay, so Sunnah.com, Banu Jews. It has been narrated on the authority of Ibn Umar that the Jews of Banu Nadir and Banu Khazaria fought against the messenger of Allah, may peace be upon him, who expelled Banu Nadir and allowed Khazaria to stay on and granted favor to them until they too fought against him. Then he killed their men and distributed their women, children and properties among the Muslims, except that some of them had joined the messenger of Allah, may peace be upon him, who granted them security. They embraced Islam. The messenger of Allah, may peace be upon him, turned out all the Jews of Medina. Banu Qiniyaqwa?
Yeah, I can't pronounce that either.
The tribe of Abdullah, Salim, and the Jews of Banu Haritha, and every other Jew who was in Medina.
So
summarize that, please.
So this was a battle that happened 1400 years ago between the Jews and the Muslims. And the Jews and the Muslims were at battle. And the Muslims killed the Jews. They said took their children, took their women, and killed them. If you go into the battle, there were 600 Jews that were actually beheaded by the Muslims at that point in time. So these people have Cerberus has historically been killing itself, been going at itself. If you go to the next slide, which is the Times of Israel, right? So the Times of Israel, I'll read this. It says, full official record, what the Mufti said to Hitler. For people that don't know, the Mufti of Jerusalem actually was Hitler's friend. And it says, the Arabs were Germany's natural friends. Hajj Amin al-Husseini told the Nazi leader in 1941 because they had the same enemies, namely the English, Jews, and the communists. So what you have here is now you have Muslims forming with Hitler to go at Jews. But then you have 1400 years ago, Jews and Muslims fighting. It is a historical battle that has gone on for 1400 years. And then we get to today and we see what's happening in Israel and what's happening in Palestine. And I sit back and I say, you know what? Cerberus gonna do what Cerberus does. Now, some people will try and get you to try and take a side. I'm not taking no one's side. I'm taking the side of, I'm gonna let Cerberus do what Cerberus does, because that's all Cerberus does. That's all it has done since the beginning of its inception. Cerberus has fought with itself. Cerberus will continue to fight with itself. Cerberus has ego and it has arrogance, and every head of Cerberus wants to be the top dog, not realizing that it's all part of one body. And I'll say this on a different note. When I speak to Black people, I think it's very interesting that Black peoples try to take a side of Cerberus. This is what I find very interesting. And I think they do it because they don't understand the history of Cerberus. I don't think they understand the history of these religions and their relationships to one another and how they interact with one another. I think of it as bullies in the playground, watching three bullies go at it and then trying to take a side. Doesn't make any sense to me. Just step back, step away, and let them fight it out. Okay, and that's something that I think Black people have a hard time doing, because we have attached ourselves to Cerberus. A lot of us have attached ourselves to Cerberus. And all I'm going to say is Cerberus going to do what Cerberus is going to do. But we'll continue. Jesse, what are the comments saying? I bet they're going crazy right now, aren't they?
Yeah, there's someone in the comments telling me how to do my job and engage the comments. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, shout out Eliakim Joseph Sophia, who said that the word religion doesn't exist in biblical Hebrew or in the Quran.
Interesting.
Are you aware of the origin of the word religion?
Religion is religios, which means to bind or to tie.
In Latin.
Indeed.
There we go. Let's see what else we have. James Menzies said Christianity is peaceful, people are flawed. Thoughts on that?
Christianity has never been peaceful. Tell that to the Africans who were invaded by European Christians and enslaved. I think people really do forget. I just think people have their own, and they're entitled to their own beliefs. I think they have their own beliefs, because if Christianity was peaceful, then Pope Nicholas V would not have written the papal bull or enacted the papal bull in 1455 to go and enslave African people, you know? So I don't know how peaceful people think this thing is, you know. I mean, it's like, okay, what part of Christianity is peaceful? We're talking about the Old Testament, because the Old Testament wasn't very peaceful. And then, you know, people say, oh no, but we're doing the New Testament now, and it's just like, highly convenient for me. But Cerberus, again, like I said, Cerberus is gonna do what Cerberus does. And a lot of the time, in my personal point of view, Cerberus being a dog can be like a dog. So sometimes Cerberus can want to be petted, and it can, you know, it can really curl up with you and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm cool with you, blah, blah, blah. And everything's good. And, you know, you can stroke Cerberus and all this kind of stuff. And eventually Cerberus will turn out to be Cerberus. It's just going to do what Cerberus does, okay? It's going to act the way it's supposed to act, and the way it has historically acted, it's going to act. And so this is why Cerberus is constantly at war. And I think people, for me, need to understand that if something is consistently following a pattern, then there's a reason for that. This is not coincidence. It's not coincidence that Cerberus has consistently been at war with itself. To me, it's not coincidence. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense because that's its nature. Cerberus's nature is to attack itself. And if Cerberus doesn't have anyone to attack, you must do what I do, okay? Or go to hell. Okay, you must believe what I believe, or go to hell. Okay, if you don't, blah, blah, blah. If it's not attacking someone else, leave it. It'll attack itself. It'll find a way, because it's just the arrogance and the ego of Cerberus. It will get the best of it. It's just what it does. So, yeah, that's what I actually think.
Okay. Tank Plank said, I don't know about Judaism, but putting Islam and Christianity in the same category is fucked. All the same, I don't give a fuck about Palestine/Israel. I don't understand what that means.
I don't understand what that means either.
I thought that maybe if I read it out loud,
No.
to decipher. Please clarify, brother, so we or brother of us,
Yeah.
let us know what you mean. Any more comments?
There's actually a video of someone that speaks. His name is Joseph Maponga.
Maponga. Yes, I know him.
Joseph Maponga. He's actually got something to say on this slightly. Yeah, if you can play that video a bit, Jesse.
It's pathetic.
Why is the video froze? Sorry, the video you sent me is just frozen.
Is it just frozen? Don't say
I'll
that.
try to upload another one, but in the meantime.
Yeah. Well, basically what he says in that video, big up Joseph Maponga, he was saying that it's pathetic. The mind of the colonized mind is pathetic because as Black people, you sit around, we sit around, and we debate.
The mind of a colonized person is pathetic. That we have to sit at this day and age and protect a system that has vandalized and destroyed us to such an extent that we can sit around and debate its veracity within our cultural corridors.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we must seek for tolerance with external forces that are encroaching into our cultural space. We have never imposed African culture on the European system. But here we are as Africans, fighting with each other of how to protect the colonial religious system that has invaded our space. I'm not sorry for saying what I say, but on behalf of the grandchildren that will come after me, we have an enemy in the house that has corrupted our minds. And if we pursue on this path of debate, we'll end up as coconuts, brown on the outside and white on the inside.
What he said there resonated with me because it's true, because it's like everyone's allowed their spiritual system. I'm not trying to take people's spiritual system away, but it's just very interesting that Black people fight for other people's spiritual systems. They fight for the Christian one, they fight for the Arab one, they fight for the Jewish one. It's just like, you know what, like, no one was fighting for an African spiritual system who wasn't African. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. And it kind of says to me that Black people seem to hate slavery, but they love the religion that came with it. And that is very interesting to me. Black people hate slavery, but they love the religions that came with it, whether that be Arab Islam, whether that be European Christianity, Judeo-Christianity. They seem to love it, and they always have some kind of excuse. Now, what people are going to say, because I already know, because I used to debate this for years, Jesse, right? What people are going to say, they're going to say, oh, well, you know what? Christianity was in Africa before the European came to Africa. And I'm going to say, you're 100% right. However, you can go to Ethiopia and you can find a church of Lalibela, one of the oldest churches you'll find in Ethiopia. But you'll also find that the Ethiopian Bible has 81 books, but you don't follow an 81 book Bible. You follow the Bible of 66 books. So then it becomes, well, whose Bible are you now following? Because you're not following the 81 book Bible. Okay. So you can say that there were Christians within Africa prior to European colonization, which would be 100% correct. But you don't follow that. You actually don't follow it. And if you don't follow it, what you are actually given into is a fact that this thing has been corrupted from 81 books, some is 81 books to 66 books. And now you're following the 66 book Bible. You know? It's just, I don't know, it's Cerberus.
That bit that's missing, the Apocrypha, it's called.
The
right?
Apocrypha.
Isn't that the bit that talks about Jesus going to India and Egypt?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There are the lost books of the Bible. The lost books of the Bible, which people seldom talk about, you know, because it would show that their ideology has been.
Because remember, Jesus vanished after he stormed out the temple at 12 years
He
old.
vanished, mate.
And then
for what? How many years? 15 years?
He would pop back up when he was about 30. So what's that like?
How old was he when he left?
12.
12.
It's about 18 years.
18
Give or take,
years.
yeah, maybe 15. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, there's just a historical There's just a historical thing about Cerberus for me. I don't fuck with Cerberus in any way, shape, or form. I let Cerberus be Cerberus. If people want to fuck with Cerberus, that's fine. I don't fuck with Cerberus. I'll let Cerberus be what it is and continue to be what it is. But please, people, don't ask me to fuck with Cerberus, please, because I used to fuck with Cerberus, right? Me and Cerberus used to be cool. But now, once I understand who Cerberus is, I really don't want any parts of Cerberus, because Cerberus will have me fight in a position that I don't even have a horse in the race. Now, again, that is not to say that there is no divine energy entity as part of the universe. That's not to say that, because that's what I believe also as a pantheist. But when it comes to Abrahamic religion and choosing one of the three heads to be a part of the three heads that like to attack each other, not understanding that they're of the same body, not understanding that they are confused, while they all state that the devil is the author of confusion, it ain't for me, man.
I need to address a comment by Liam Harper because he's in the comments just being anyways. He said Sorrow has his mind made up and won't listen to what we have to say, although we get his points. He can't separate the people from the beauty of religion.
Again, this is one of the things that people don't understand. I studied this stuff. Like, I can separate the people from the religion. I can definitely separate the people from the religion. It's the religion I'm talking about. If you follow Cerberus, if Cerberus leads you to a certain place, it leads you to do certain things. This is what Cerberus does, and I can definitely separate. People can, have their religions or whatever. That's not a problem, but it doesn't mean that I need to follow them, and I'm not going to follow them, and I'm not going to be a part of them. It just is what it is. It's very interesting because there was actually an argument that I made on a debate one time when I was at Speaker's Corner, and I was speaking to a black religious person, and I've actually made a video of it on my channel. And it's for me, it's a very simple, logical argument, okay? But it's one that religious people have a hard time in engaging with. And it's very simple. The first man and woman, according to the Abrahamic religions, are Adam and Eve, or when you go to the Islamic version, Adam and Hawa. Shut up. Adam and Hawa, right? And those names are only so old. As a matter of fact, they're Semitic names, they're Euro-Semitic names. The Euro-Semitic language is only around 6,000 years old, 6,000 to 8,000 years old. But the oldest people, according to all genetics, according to all archaeology, according to anthropology, are African people. Some people say it's the Khoisan people of South Africa who use the clicks. They click, right? And so those people have been dated at a couple 100,000 years old. So I've always said, well, if the oldest people are African, they would have African names. So who the hell are Adam and Eve? Does it make any sense to me? There would be no Adams, there would be no Eves when the first human beings were running around. That cannot have been their names. You've got the names wrong from the beginning. From the beginning, you've got the names wrong. So why would I follow something that's got it wrong from the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Jesse?
That makes sense. What I don't follow is I believe that the truth only has one version, whereas with the lie there were many versions. And this is why I don't follow religion, because there are too many versions. Even within religions, there are too many.
Too many.
Yeah. So within Christianity, there's many.
There's Seventh-day Adventists, which I grew up as. There's Pentecostal, evangelists,
Roman Catholic, and so forth.
Yeah.
With Islam, you have many different sects, and with Judaism. So I just can't, for me.
It's too much, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But then, like I said, they all claim to be the truth. And I'm like, all right, cool. If you say so. Like, go do your thing. Like, you'll start killing each other soon, because that's just what Cerberus does.
Start killing each other. They haven't stopped.
Yes, what I'm saying. That is, yeah, true. They'll just kill each other and then claim to be the one. Sometimes the one who if you kill the most people, you're the one that's right. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's up to you guys. but where I see the comments flicking. What are they saying, Jesse?
All one message. Science isn't even the truth, which I actually agree with. A lot of science things that we believe to be the truth are just a theory. For example, the Earth being a globe, it can't be proven.
But the thing is, what happens when people say that in relation to religion? What they're saying is that because, let's say science isn't the truth, right? Let's say that science isn't the truth. What they're saying is because science isn't the truth, my one is. And that is not the argument. If science isn't the truth, it doesn't automatically mean that yours is. I'm just saying, there could be another answer. And I'm open to there being another answer, but a lot of religious people aren't open to there being another answer. So it's like, well, science isn't the truth, which means mine is. No, there could be another reason. There could be something else.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Shout out the Cookie Monster.
The Cookie Monster?
Yeah, he said Adam and Eve could have been any king or queen from history of a bloodline. How can you prove the context? I like that perspective, you know, because the way we've been conditioned to think is that they're these mythical beings from however long ago, but it could just be, because we all know history is rewritten. They could just be a king and queen.
Of course they could be, because the names are that whose names are these? I've always said, listen, you will always know a story by the language that it's in, by the culture that it comes from, and by the names that are used. You will always know whose story it is. If I was to say that the first man's name was Kim Jong-un, where are we going?
Congo.
Well, we're going to Korea, aren't we, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like once you start to use someone's name and then you use their culture and then you use their language, we're going straight there. So when you say Adam or Eve, we know exactly where we're going. We're not going nowhere near Africa. In any way, shape, or form, we're not going. So it's like, okay, so whose story is this? Okay, because that's what I'm asking. Whose story is this? Because we know it's not an African story now, all of a sudden. It may have originated in Africa because, you know, I've said, like, when it comes to the stories of the Bible, you'll find them in the Nile Valley. So you can find them there. But who remixed it? Why is it remixed now? Why has it gone from Kwesi to, I don't know, King to Henry or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, why has it gone from Mwazebe to Adam? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? How did we get here? How did it get remixed? That's why I said to people, please, you guys keep Cerberus if you want, be a part of Cerberus. It's absolutely fine. Just don't ask me to fuck with Cerberus because I don't fuck with Cerberus. It just is what it is. And I'm sure that has pissed people off, but
I think your disclaimer has kept everyone in line.
Oh, really? Has it?
Yeah. Guys, we need to be able to disagree with someone and not get mad and not take it personal and not send insults.
I mean, that's part and parcel of the days and times nowadays,
of
isn't
the
it?
internet. Yeah.
We have one last video though, Jesse, of the president of Guyana.
One of the few times I've actually seen the video before we've done the thing. I saw this a few days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna move on from this religious talk. We might circle back, but let's
that's the one.
Let's go here.
Operations of Exxon to take care of this. There's systems in place.
Let's take a big picture look at what's going on here. Over the next decade, 2 decades, it is expected that there will be $150 billion worth of oil and gas extracted off your coast. It's an extraordinary figure, but think of it in practical terms. That means, according to many experts, more than 2 billion tons of carbon emissions will come from your seabed, from those reserves, and be released into the atmosphere. I don't know if you as a head of state went to the COP in Dubai.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Do you know that Guyana has a forest forever that is the size of England and Scotland combined? A forest that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon, a forest that we have kept alive, a forest that we have kept alive.
Does that give you the right? Does that give you the right to release all of this carbon?
Does that give you the right to lecture us on climate change, I am going to lecture you on climate change because we have kept this forest alive that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon that you enjoy, that the world enjoy, that you don't pay us for, that you don't value, that you don't see a value in, that the people of Guyana has kept alive. Guess what? We have the lowest deforestation rate in the world. And guess what? Even with our greatest exploration of the oil and gas resource we have now, we will still be net zero. Guyana will still be net zero. With all our exploration,
A couple of
we'll
points.
still be net zero. There's
powerful words, Mr. President. But a couple.
I am not completed as yet. I am not finished as yet. I am just not finished as yet. Because this is the hypocrisy that exists in the world. The world in the last 50 years has lost 65% of all its biodiversity. We have kept our biodiversity. Are you valuing it? Are you ready to pay for it? When is the developed world going to pay for it? Or are you in the pockets? Are you in the pockets of those who have damaged the environment? Are you in the pockets, are you and your system in the pockets of those who destroyed the environment through the Industrial Revolution and now lecturing us? Are you in their pockets? Are you paid by them? Are you paid to keep their
Mr.
message
President.
alive? There is no hypocrisy in our position.
The center.
Before you go, Sarah, there's a comment from James Menzies. He said, oops, wrong one. He said, release the carbon. We couldn't destroy the earth if we tried. It's okay, your mind is very small. You don't actually understand how much of the earth's
Release the carbon.
Basically, you don't get it, but how much,
because we couldn't destroy the earth if we tried.
Yeah, so how much of the earth's atmosphere do you believe is carbon?
That is a question I would not know.
I guess, but the way they're going about it, how much percentage of the air we breathe?
As a matter of fact,
CO2?
I saw, actually, I think I saw a video on this. I think it's like 2% or something like that.
It's not even 2%. It's 0.04%. It might be 0.02%.
That's crazy.
Of that 0.04%, let's just say, of the atmosphere, that's carbon dioxide. How much is man-made? Percentage-wise,
of the 0.2%.
Yeah, of the 0.02%.
How much percent is man-made?
Yeah,
what? 5%?
More, 13%.
Okay,
that's 13% of 0.02.
That's crazy.
Plants and animals make up way more carbon dioxide than people.
So when they talk about the carbon footprint, it's all a bunch of BS.
Bunch of BS. Carbon dioxide is known as the gas of life. So plants inhale carbon dioxide, yeah, and they give us back oxygen. The more
photosynthesis.
Yeah. So these climate extremists will make you believe that as we make more carbon dioxide, the Earth's temperature goes up, but it's actually inverse.
But did you see the interviewer? And the way he was attempting to, or the picture that he was attempting to paint,
yeah, they do
with the president of Guyana, and I wanted people to see it because I thought it was interesting because, like he was saying, they're at negative or net zero. They have a forest which is the size of England and Scotland, and they're still trying to get on him like, oh well, you're doing this in the environment. It's like, well, I'm sure being from England, as English people, we probably release more carbon than they do.
100%.
Right. So then why is he getting on him like this?
Exactly.
And this is part of do you not actually believe, Jesse, right? This is what I believe, right? This is what I believe. And this isn't a hate thing. I think that the West is losing their grip on the world. I think the West have had their grip on the rest of the world for so long, and they're so used to having their grip on the rest of the world via colonization, that anything outside of that seems to make people a little bit uncomfortable. And it doesn't have to make you uncomfortable. The Western people don't have to be uncomfortable because it doesn't mean that these people are going to start getting weapons and start killing all the Westerners. But it seems like a lot of people within the West are so uncomfortable not being in control of other nations via the quote unquote Commonwealth that when these people become independent, like what is happening, we've spoken about it so many times, what's happening with Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore with the French, like people become so uncomfortable with like other people's of color just having some kind of power. It's really frustrating if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I don't know what's behind it, but They just don't like it, do they?
It's just like they've become really uncomfortable. It's like, bro, look, chill. Like it's not that deep, white folks. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna start killing everyone as soon as we get some power. Like,
I know people that would kill everyone if they got some power.
who you?
No, the people that cannot be named. We don't speak about them on here.
Who are they called? What's their name? You call them?
Voldemort.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not every person of color. Do you know what I think? Being a person of a PLC, I'm just like, listen. I listen and I'm in and around circles of people of color. We ain't plotting, planning, and scheming to try and kill no white folks. Like, generally, like, it's just not what we're trying to do, folks. Do you know? Even if you go to the upper echelons of society, where black people are, they're not trying to plot to kill white people, folks. Okay, white people, chill. Okay, chill. It's not that deep. People are not coming for you. It's the thing. The thing is that because there's some kind of unconscious and conscious fear in a lot of you that because of the colonization and the slavery, that all of these people are gonna have their get back on you. And it's like, they ain't got time for that. They just want to be left alone, given their resources and given their chance to determine themselves for however long, for whatever they're doing with their own resource wealth. That's all they want.
Shout out Leandro X. He said they think that's what you do because that is what they
did
to your people.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's just like, just chill the hell out. It's just, and the thing is, nothing. I tell you what it's like. It's like they say, if you hold a penny too tight, it will slip. If you hold something too tight, it will slip. And I think that's what's happening with the West. They've tried to hold on for too long, for too tightly, and it's starting to slip. And now what you're seeing is people start scrambling like, oh my God, this person's getting this. And it's like, chill, calm down. Okay, it's fine. Jamaica's not trying to like kill all of you.
Maybe they would if they had the means and the power.
Yeah, but the thing is maybe.
They can't take that risk.
All right, well then keep holding on. It's going to slip away anyway. There's just not enough of them. There's not enough time. Listen, I've read enough world history to know, that history changes hands. It doesn't stay in one person's hands for the rest of eternity. It just doesn't. Chinese, India, Arab, European, African, it will just keep changing hands. It's what it does. People think that history is going to stay in the hands of one person for the rest of eternity. It never has, never will. There's 7 billion people on the planet, okay? And we have infinite amount of years.
Some would say that the people in power have been in power in the shadows since the dawn of time.
Nah.
Behind every great empire. It's been the same people.
Nah.
The same plans. That's what they say.
That's what they say. But you can't say the dawn of time because the people in power, whoever they are, have not been around since the dawn of time.
When is time? Have you heard of the founder theory?
Time,
the old world.
You spoke about this before, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. So apparently there's like 1,000 years added onto our timeline. And what that's done is let the people that write history make 1,000 years worth of lies. And like our civilization isn't as old as they make out to believe. And so like we were founded by our founding, so like young children and people that were just literally just placed here and given a script and told what to do. And a lot of our history is very, very recent, and it's not what they tell us.
But you believe that the earth is flat, don't you?
I know the earth is flat under a firmament.
That is another show for another day, which we actually done.
We've done that in January.
We might revisit. We'll have to revisit it, won't we?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Rockefeller and Rothschild ain't slipping.
Rockefeller, right? Listen, man, people always slip. Regardless of what you call them, no one stays in power forever. Just doesn't happen. But yeah, folks, listen, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being mature enough to understand that people have different views. And please stop making dumb people famous. My channel is a place for people to...
Gunner Hill can go suck a dick. This guy's never sat in science class.
Oh my
fucking
God.
internet keyboard warriors. What's wrong with these people?
Oh my God. Jesse's having a is having a doozy. Yeah. So what was, you probably just I was like signing out. You just messed me up. Even if. Yeah. Shout out to even if lady.
Should we get her one more
Yeah, let's
time?
get her up. Let's get her up.
Where is she? There she is.
Even if.
Yeah, shout out to even if lady. It's been a crazy week for you. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully you get better interview skills. And yeah, hopefully you don't get 18-year-olds cursing you out ever again. But yeah, folks, this channel, it's a channel for people to be able to have conversation. Okay, you don't always have to agree with each other. But you can have conversation. Doesn't matter whether you're white, doesn't matter whether you're black. I've obviously got my stance already. I've got my biases because I'm black, but doesn't mean that I hate anyone. But yeah, everyone come here and let people know, because the algorithm is being very weird right now. Okay, I won't lie. At some point, I'm starting to think that I'm shadow banned now, Jesse. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think I'm shadow banned. The numbers are not matching at the moment, and the math is not mathing, and I'm just like, what has happened? Who did I mention? Or who? What did I say?
Voldemort.
What did I say? It's very interesting. So yeah, like, share, comment, and subscribe, guys, on your way out. And I'm gonna catch you all on the flip side.